Kids are off school this week. It's a lot less busy out on the roads and around our school buildings as they're all out on spring break. And parents, if you're watching, if you're listening, and you're looking for something to do to get your kids off those screens, out and about in the community, and maybe having some fun and learning on their time off, the West Bloomfield Library has you covered. Joining us on the program is Justine Flores, the Youth Services Librarian with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well today, and I'm glad to have you on. And I want to dive right into it and see, what the library has to offer over spring break to keep kids engaged in our community, especially in their learning, even on their week off from the classroom.
Yeah, it's so important to keep the learning happening even when schools are out. So all of the school breaks is a great time to visit the library. And so we have elementary age programs Monday through Thursday, all week long. Today, this afternoon, we have a elementary savvy scientist program that's going to be involved with some planting for springtime. Tomorrow, we have a writers program in the afternoon. That's for elementary as well. Wednesday, we have two programs. In the morning, there is a story time for the younger set. And in the afternoon, we have a cultural program called Spring Around the World. We're going to talk about how spring is celebrated in 7 different places around the world. And Thursday, we have 2 programs in conjunction with the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum, one for younger children, one for older children.
And all these programs can be found on wblib.org or on their Facebook page, facebook.com/westbloomlib for even more information. And Justine, as you're putting these programs together, there's a lot of learning elements that go into it, but what I can't help but notice with each of these programs is the interactivity is such a core part of how these were designed. How did the library go about designing these different programs or working with their community partners to put something together that was going to be engaging for the kids, but not seem like another day in the classroom?
Right. The kids are on break and the last thing they want is another lesson or school time. But, a lot of us on staff here are former educators, and we know the best way to learn is to do something that the kids don't think that they're learning. They think that they're having fun. And so we know to sneak in that learning in a way that they're doing something and, going to talk about what they learned later and not even realize that they really had a lesson.
And take it from the kids' perspective. It's just a week off of school. I can catch up on some homework for some of the older kids, or maybe play some games or watch some shows that I've been backed up on doing all this classroom work and all the other extracurricular activities. It's my time to relax. But from a parent's perspective, from an educator's perspective, why are these breaks continuing that learning? Why is that so important?
So the best thing you can do for your brain is use it every day. It's like a muscle, and we don't want to give our muscles too much time off. We don't want to give our brains too much time off. Um, and also just the social aspect. I know for a lot of kids, being home for a long time without the interaction with their peers can be isolating, and so our programs will have other kids there to talk to, and that's so important as well.
We're joined by Justine Flores. She is a youth services librarian at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. There are 5 different activities for spring break programs. Can all be found on West Bloom LIB on Facebook or WBLIB.org. Navigate to their calendar on the brand new website to find even more information on all these spring break programs and more. March 25th through the 28th is their spring break programming for kids all throughout our local area. And Justine, if people want to get involved in these programs, is there any registration that goes into it, or can they just show up with their kids to these programs and get right into that learning?
So some of our programs have no registration, so anyone can just come and see. You can see which ones require registration on our website or our print materials. If registration is required, the easiest way to do that is online ahead of time, so that when you come in, you're on the list and we say go right ahead. But if you want to come day of and see if we have room, you could also do that. I know some of them are getting quite full, so we really do recommend doing it on the website ahead of time.
And you mentioned that these programs are for a variety of different ages. There are programs for the younger kids and programs for the older kids, do they tend to have elements of both in each of them, or are there ones that are targeted specifically for maybe the elementary school kids or the early middle school kids, and others for those late in middle school and into high school?
That's a great question. So each one has a recommended range, and in general,
And all those programs.
and
Oh,
are we
please go
here?
ahead. We just had a brief freeze with you, Justine. Please continue.
Um, so the age ranges are there, the recommended ranges, and um, in general, it will be a bit younger or a bit older. However, each child is their own, universe, and I always recommend if you think that sounds really interesting to your child, even if they're a year or two out of the range, that's totally fine. We're not IDing at the door.
Again, more information on all of these programs is available at wblib.org. If you navigate to their calendar, you can scroll through each day of this week and find all of these different programs on their website. You just scroll over the program, it'll tell you that age range. So, Elementary Savvy Scientist, it tells you kids grades K through 2 and grades 3 through 5. It tells you how many seats are remaining if registration is required, and even more information on the program as well. WBLIB.org. You can also find more programs from the West Bloomfield Township Public Library all throughout the year on their Facebook page at West Bloom LIB. Joining us is Justine Flores, Youth Services Librarian at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. And Justine, how do programs like this for a spring break program, how do they kind of mirror what you may have in the summer or during the winter break or other stoppages in learning? And how does that also overall just fit the vision of the Youth Services Department at the library?
So we have a couple different categories of programs like STEAM learning, reading education, cultural education, or just recreational, just for fun. So we try to have a balance of these different kinds of programming to make sure we're hitting all of our bases. And we do that all year long, of course. And so we have some, concerts, some just for fun, some singing, some dancing. We have some science, as you see, and cultural programs. So we try to get a good range of different kinds of learning.
And how do you, your colleagues at the library, but also the parents and the kids, often find that these programs affect their learning in the classroom afterward? Do you find that these help to get them even more engaged in what they're already experiencing in the classroom?
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite thing is hearing from students or from their parents about, the things that they're already passionate about, and they'll share. They're happy to share with us about what they're already like almost experts about. So we use the kids themselves and their passions to think about what kind of programs we want to do going forward, and definitely hope that that builds into more learning.
So, Justine, even if they're not able to participate maybe in these programs, maybe the timing doesn't align, maybe the registration is closed for one that really catches their eye, what other programs are available or initiatives are available all the time in the Youth Services Department that parents and kids can engage in year round?
Um, yeah, great question. We have a whole range of things that parents can check out and take home. So, we want to have people think of the library as, books and more. So of course we have books. We have books that have a recording device so students can listen and read at the same time. We have a wide range of educational tablets. Each one has between 12 and 20 games preloaded on it on a certain topic, and those go from 0 to 12 years old. We have these literacy kits that range in age also from 0 to 12. Um, each of those has a specific topic, ranging from school topics like reading, science, math, to social emotional learning. We call those tender topics, things that, it might be easy. It might be a little bit harder to have a conversation about topics like moving, um, separation anxiety, changing family dynamics. So we have these kits that parents can check out. They all have toys and games about that topic and an age range that it's recommended for. So we hope that people take full advantage of all of our resources all year long.
And it's also in one of the, I would argue, and you'd probably be a better expert being an educator yourself and someone that has experience working in the library, arguably or inarguably the best youth services area in the entire state that you'll see at any library. It's such an engaging environment, and I remember growing up in West Bloomfield, walking into that area with my grandparents or with my parents, and it really was like you walked into the library, you take a quick right turn after you get through the main entrance, and you're in a whole different world.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have a great supportive community that allows us to, have this wonderful space that, kids can really feel like it's their own. It's a special space for them, and we're always trying to think of better ways to serve our community, and make the space, change over time, and just offer more and better things. And we're very excited for the support of our community and to make it better.
You can always keep up to date on the latest and greatest programs at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library for kids, for families, and those of all ages. West Bloom, LIB on Facebook, or WBLIB.org. Justine, anything else for us before we let you go today?
It's always a great time to visit the library. We're open from 9 to 9, Monday through Thursday. So maybe on these spring break or vacations, the kids might be up a little late. So don't feel like it has to be in the morning. We're open a long time, and come see us anytime. We're open 7 days a week, except this Sunday, of course. It's a holiday. We'll be closed, but we're happy to see you anytime.
Yeah, 2 branches to the library as well. The main branch on Walnut Lake Road, right next door to us in the Town Hall complex, and then on Pontiac Trail, you'll find the West Acres branch over as you head toward Commerce. Justine, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.